Hold up.
Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Jess Hilarious, DJ Envy. Envy is he's still out of the country?
No, he probably coming back today, but that's China. He probably been flying for 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's time for front page news. Mimi, good morning.
Hey, girl.
Good morning. Good morning, Jess. Charlamagne, how y'all doing this morning?
Blessed, black, and
Good.
highly favored. I do want to say one thing. One sports score. Drop on the clues bombs for the Las Vegas Aces. Okay, they beat the Phoenix Mercury on Friday
Nice.
to win their third championship in 4 years. Okay, thank you, Asia Wilson. All right. Suit Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray and the whole squad, though,
That's
man.
what's
Becky
up.
Hammond. I love watching the Aces play. Mimi.
All right. All right. Well, we start this morning with breaking news as all 20 hostages held by Hamas since the October 7th, 2023 attacks have now been released.
That's a great
marking
thing.
a major step, in U.S. brokered peace deal to end the war in Gaza. Now, the final group of 13 hostages were handed over to the Red Cross this morning, transferred to the Israeli military. They've now arrived at a military base where they're reuniting with their family members for the first time in more than 2 years. Now, the 7 hostages that were freed earlier have already undergone medical checks and have been reunited with their family. Now, as part of this deal, 1,700 Palestinian detainees were held in Israel since the October 7th attacks. They will also be released along with 250 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences. Now, before landing in Israel, President Trump, he spoke to reporters aboard Air Force One about the moment and how he feels it marks a major turning point in the region. Let's listen to what he had to say.
President Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, has not gone so far as to say the war is over. In your view, is the war between Israel and Hamas over?
War is over. The war is over. Okay, you understand that?
Okay, well, President Trump says the war is over and the ceasefire that was brokered by the United States, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey, it took effect on Friday morning as part of a 20-point peace plan designed to bring lasting stability to over 2 years of bloodshed. Now, since the war began, 67,000 Palestinians have been killed, including 18,000 children. That's according to Gaza's health ministry. Now, in the coming hours, President Trump, he is expected to address Israel's parliament. White House officials say he'll call for a new era of peace. He'll urge both sides to commit to rebuilding and reconciliation. And across Gaza, Palestinians who fled are cautiously returning home. Aid groups estimate that 1.5 million people remain displaced, and rescue crews warn of unexpected bombs still buried underneath that rubble. So,
What has the reaction been, Mimi? What are the activists saying? What are pro-Palestine and pro-Israel people saying about this? I saw videos of people in Palestine celebrating. So,
yeah, I think people are happy the war is over, right? The Palestinians that were jailed since October 7th, they're still waiting to be let go. So people are still, cautiously hopeful that will happen. And so they had a deal where everybody from the 20 hostages had to be released first before the Palestinians were released. And there's still 28 bodies, I believe, that 28 people who didn't make it. They're still hoping that those bodies will be returned to as part of that peace deal. So on both sides, it's still, I think that, people are still they're happy. They were gathered this morning in the Tel Aviv square. They were happy and celebrating, but some families aren't coming home and some Palestinians have been displaced. So we'll see, Charlamagne, on both sides, I think there's a lot of angst still.
Well, for the hostages that were returned home alive, I am happy for them, and I'm sure that their families are happy that they're returned too.
Yeah, for sure. And just switching gears just a little bit, in South Carolina, investigators are investigating a mass shooting that left 4 people dead and 20 others injured. This happened early Sunday morning at a crowded bar on St. Helena Island. Now, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to Willie's Bar and Grill just before 1 a.m. this morning when they arrived, or yesterday morning. When they arrived, they found a large crowd and several people suffering from a gunshot wound. Now, 4 victims were pronounced dead at the scene, while 4 others were taken to nearby hospitals. Several people drove themselves to the hospital for treatment. Now, witnesses say chaos chaos broke out as gunfire erupted outside that bar. Victims and bystanders, they ran for cover, rushing into nearby homes and businesses to escape the bullets. Now, the owner of the bar says the shooting happened during an alumni event for a local high school. Right now, no arrests have been made, but investigators say they are interviewing multiple witnesses and are looking into multiple persons of interest.
Lord have mercy. I mean, this type of stuff can happen at any time of day, but I definitely don't need to be in no bar after midnight. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, coming up at 7, one major retailer accused of overhyping its biggest sale of the year. Why some shoppers say those deals aren't really deals. We'll tell you who it is and how it affects you.
All right. Well, thank you, Mimi. We'll talk to you next hour during Front Page News. Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Jess Hilarious, DJ Envy. Envy is off today, but it's time for Front Page News with Mimi Brown. Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, Charlamagne, Jess. How y'all doing?
Blessed, black, and
morning,
highly
girl.
favored. How are you?
Good morning. All right. So if you have a child in special education, you should be pretty concerned this morning. The Department of Education has been hit hard by Friday's mass federal layoffs. And officials say it could have an immediate impact on children with disabilities. So sources inside the department say that the offices handling special education and rehabilitative services were gutted. Those teams are responsible for enforcing the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. And that's the law that guarantees a free and fair education for kids with disabilities. It also distributes nearly $15 billion in funding to states for special education programs. And now, with all the cuts, insiders warn that that money could be delayed and families may lose access to critical support. Now, when asked about these sweeping cuts, President Trump said he had a particular group of federal workers in mind and hinted that more layoffs may be coming. Let's hear what he had to say.
And it will be Democrat-oriented because we figure, they started this thing, so they should be Democrat-oriented. It'll be a lot, and we'll announce the numbers over the next couple of days, but it'll be a lot of people.
Well, he announced the numbers, and it's a total of 4,100 federal workers that have been laid off. These cuts come as part of the ongoing government shutdown. They were ordered across, several major agencies. I'm talking roughly 1,200 employees were let go from the Department of Health and Human Services, 1,400 from the Treasury Department, 450 from the Housing and Urban Development, 170 from Homeland Security, including those working in cybersecurity. So also the CDC saw cuts, about 1,000 jobs, but some of those workers have been called back. The administration saying they made a mistake in cutting some of the employees from the CDC. So we'll continue to watch that. But federal unions, they are challenging this in court, calling them political and dangerous firings. But meanwhile, President Trump says the troops will get paid this week, even with the government still shut down. In a post on Truth Social, he said that he will use his authority as commander-in-chief to make sure that service members are paid October 15th. He says the money will come from existing research and development funds from the Pentagon.
I believe it when I see it, but, these people don't get their jobs back when the shutdown is over, right?
No, they don't.
Damn.
They don't. And the question still remains, will they get that back pay? So if you're fired, do you still get the back pay? Or when you were, furloughed? Like, all of that is still in flux. So,
well, salute to all the federal workers who are still showing up to work, even though they're not getting paid, man. We appreciate your service. I know y'all don't, I know thoughts and prayers don't pay the bills, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, as the shutdown stretches into the third week, another national debate is taking center stage, this one about how we mark today's holiday. So is it Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day? The debate is back in the spotlight because today is Monday, October 13th, and President Trump, he said that he's sticking with Columbus Day. In a proclamation signed last week, he called the Italian explorer, we're talking about Christopher Columbus, the original American hero, and accused critics of trying to erase history and, quote, attack our heritage. Now, this is a sharp contrast from President Biden, who in 2021 became the first president to recognize both holidays, calling for an honest look at America's past while honoring Italian-American contributions. Now, the debate has only grown in the past decade. Columbus Day has been a federal holiday since 1892, but more states now mark Indigenous Peoples Day instead, arguing Columbus Day overlooks the suffering caused by European colonization. So depending on where you live, today may be Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day, or both. But keep in mind, if you are running errands, post offices and major banks are closed today due to the holiday. FedEx, UPS, and Amazon deliveries are still operating as usual.
Yeah, why does it have to be one day, though? If you want to recognize it as Columbus Day, do that. If you want to recognize it as Indigenous People Day, do that. Today is also the National Online Bank Day. It's also the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction.
Yo, who be making up the days?
It's a breast cancer awareness day. But it's a certain kind of breast cancer. Metastatic, what is it called? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So it's a bunch of different days. You recognize what you want to recognize.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But I think this month is
Halloween.
Wow. Yeah, but it's also geared to breast cancer, right? It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so women need to be going to get their mammograms and going to, get their checkups or whatever. But look, let me ask you this, Mimi. I haven't seen this everywhere. I don't know if it's exactly true, right? But I heard that the American dollar depreciated like 10%.
The American dollar has depreciated like 10%.
Yeah.
That's been happening for a while as we, with all the tariffs and the federal interest rates and all of that happening. So, it doesn't stand, like it used to. So,
yeah.
Why are you hitting Mimi with them goddamn random ass pop quizzes? That's a tough
I was just asking. I was asking, did she hear about it? Because I heard it, but I don't hear enough people talking about it. Like, that's going to directly affect everybody, like, especially working class. Like, people don't think it affect people. When I heard it, I'm like, damn, and it's expected to drop another 10% in 2026.
Well, until we can figure out the Federal Reserves and all of that, there's a lot happening, right?
Dang.
The tariffs, China's just been hit with another 100% tariff. I mean, there's just a lot, happening.
Yeah, that wasn't like a pop quiz question for you. I just heard it, and I'm like, yo, I heard it, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. We talking about a whole bunch of other stuff, but we didn't talk about that. I'm like, damn, is that true or not? So I just want to ask if you heard it. Shut up, Charlamagne. And when I don't be saying nothing about politics or nothing or money or whatever, then what? The hell?
Well, thank you, Mimi.
Absolutely. Okay, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV for more stories. Follow the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app. Or go to binnews.com.
That's right.
Thanks, Mimi.
It's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?